We are in Groveland, Florida, just 20 miles west of Orlando, Florida, the home of Orlando Galaxy's cricket ground. The first match, the 10:30 a.m. start between Atlanta Fire and Fort Lauderdale Lions, will be delayed for about 20 minutes, maybe 25, hoping for a 10:50 a.m. start. There's a bit of dew, a bit of damp patch just by the bowler's step, by the crease for their follow-through, so the umpires are a little concerned. As a result, it will be delayed for 20 minutes, looking at a 10:50 a.m. start between this Atlanta Fire Fort Lauderdale Lions matchup for the 10:30 a.m. start in Groveland, Florida for this Southern Division clash in the minor league cricket season 2025. That's the update from here from Groveland, Florida. When we come back, it'll be a 10:50 a.m. start. We will keep you updated as more information comes our way. Thank you.
The annual Atlanta Open T20 tournament returns October 7th to 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. Presented by Atlanta Fire Cricket and Tarek Real Estate, 12 teams packed with the best domestic and international T20 talent will be on show. Catch live action on the MLC Network, Willow Cricket, and T Sports.
Atlanta Fire, star-studded Atlanta Fire, one of the favorites.
Man, indeed, when that one is smack.
Oh, this one is clubbed into the onside, a slow, short ball.
It is a 10:50 a.m. start. After a 20-minute delay, there was some dew on the wicket that prevented the bowlers to have secure footing, As a result, the warm sun of Central Florida has dried out that patch, and we are ready to start in our Southern Division clash between Atlanta Fire and Fort Lauderdale Lions. Atlanta Fire climbing to 4-0 yesterday after defeating Orlando Galaxy. And the Atlanta Fire, believe it or not, winning the toss for the 5th consecutive time. And for a change, they decided to bowl first. Fort Lauderdale Lions playing yesterday as well, losing to Atlanta Lightning. Fort Lauderdale Lions are now 0-4, just like Orlando Galaxy. They're going to take strike first. And we have the Atlanta Fire starting from the northern end. We have the right-arm fast bowler Drysdale, who only got 6 deliveries yesterday against the Galaxy. He's going to open the bowling today for the Fire. First delivery outside off stump, and it's a dot ball. So Shanak Marthe and Mario, the two opening batters for the Fort Lauderdale Lions, trying to set a target for this Fire team, which is electric with the bat and ball. This one is pitched up and dug out. Mario Rampersad, who's coming into this match as the leading run getter in the Southern Division, with a fantastic innings just a few days ago. Rampersad, certainly the anchor of this team, and he sets the tone for this Fort Lauderdale Lion franchise. Drysdale, this one is cut away and superbly feeded in the backward point region. Valuable dot ball for Drysdale, valuable dot ball for the Fire. Mario Rampersad, 4 innings, 1 not out, 146 runs. He has 19 fours and a 6. He has 2 50s under his belt and a high score of 61. This one has hit the pad. There's an appeal, a stifled appeal. From this angle, it looks a little high. And umpire Batiste signals 2 more deliveries in the over. So Drysdale, known as Drysy, in his camp, a stifled appeal.
From this angle, it looks a little high.
Drysdale, the New York native, has that high action, resembling a Caribbean fast bowler. Just from the first look of it, maybe a Tony Gray from Trinidad and Tobago. Using every inch of that height. And this one is driven superbly off the front foot, a square drive. And it shows the type of form that Rampersad is in. He gets underway. First boundary of the day.
Using every inch of
and
that
it's
height.
4 without loss with 1 delivery remaining.
Driven
Just picking it up.
Front foot, a square drive.
Picking up the line, the length, playing
and
through the line of the
type
ball.
of form that Rampersad is in.
Now this Groveland Cricket Ground, the Orlando Galaxy Cricket Ground, debuted yesterday. It is not a high-scoring pitch. It is a lot of service provided for the spinners. So teams will do well to score above 140, 150 on this pitch. We've seen scores of 130 yesterday, being the highest of the 4 innings. Last delivery in the first over. Rampersad drives again. It beats the infield. Does it have the legs to get to the boundary? It does. Finishes off the first over with 2 successive boundaries. Rampersad goes to 8. And the end of the first over. Fort Lauderdale Lions, who were put into bat from the Fire, are 8 without loss after
Does it
1.
have the legs to get to the boundary? It does. Finishes off the first over with 2 successive.
First delivery of the second over. It's Sunny Patel, who had quite the experience with the ball yesterday against the Orlando Galaxy. Sunny Patel, just to give you an idea, coming into this weekend or into today's match as the top bowler in the Southern Division. He had 4 matches, 15.3 overs, 10 wickets in those 15.3 overs after yesterday's match against the Galaxy. He is leading the path or leading the way with the ball in the South. This one is driven to mid-off. They come through for a quick single and it gets Rampasad back on strike. This wicket very much a turning wicket, and all 4 teams experienced that yesterday. Batters were consistently holding out to mid-off and cover. It's a quicker delivery, just turn around over his shoulder. It is the beauty of modern cricket, scoring in that 360 angle. Anything goes. Sunny Patel came from this very end against the Galaxy yesterday. His figures 3.3 overs, 3 for 29 rather, with 13 dot balls. The IPL player played for the Gujarat team. And one of the star players in minor league cricket 2025. In a very, very quick over. Just 2 runs off of it. It is 10 for no wicket after 2.
The annual Atlanta Open T20 tournament returns October 7th to 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. Presented by Atlanta Fire Cricket and Tariq Real Estate, 12 teams packed with the best domestic and international T20 talent will be on show. Catch live action on the MLC Network, Willow Cricket, and T Sports.
Change of bowling from the northern end. We have Stephen Taylor, the tall Jamaican off-spinner. And he's going to bowl to the left-handed Chinook Marath. Taylor just doing some adjustments for the left-hander. He has cover out at deep mid-wicket on the onside and a long off. Here's that sweep shot. And with me is Suresh. He is one of the guys responsible for managing this cricket ground, which was built just about 18 months ago. Suresh, welcome to the broadcast, but this is so much more than the Orlando Galaxy cricket ground.
Thank you, Ryan. Yes, this ground was built primarily...
This one is high in the air. Sorry, Suresh. He's going to hold off to mid-on. Oh! And he's taking it on the second grab. So the first wicket departs. It's Mario Rampasad, the star player, the star batter who leads the Southern Division in runs coming into this match. Had 20 yesterday. He now holds out to mid-on. We talked about the wicket holding up just a bit. Harder for the batters to play through the line. And now the Lions lose their first wicket with 10 on the board. Suresh, tell us more about the cricket ground.
Right. So we started this venture 18 months ago with the intention of grooming the women cricketers in this country, women's cricketers in this country, a experience to play on the turf. And American Women's Cricket Club is a non-profit that we set up, and this ground was a brainchild of that. More to provide turf experience for the women, and we're very proud of that we have hosted USA Women's Under-19 World Cup camps here before the World Cup in Malaysia last year. We also held USA Senior Women's Camp here. We do have a residential facility on the premise where the players can stay and play. So this has been a good experience for us, primarily built for the girls, and now we're thankful for MILC to come and play on our ground, and it's been fantastic so far.
Suresh, remarkable story. So much more than just a cricket ground.
This one is high in the air. Sorry, Suresh. He's going to hold off
brings
the
the women's
mid-on.
game up to
Oh,
a certain
and
level,
he's
allowing them
taking
a
it on the
platform
second
to play
grab.
and
So the
improve
foot,
on their skills. And of course, the home of Orlando Galaxy now for years to come. Groveland, Florida, just west of Orlando, Florida, let's say 20 miles. And the new batter taking strike is number 46, Ranak Sharma. It was Corny Dry, actually it was Drysdale, the big fast bowler at mid-on, catching Rampasad off the bowling of Stephen Taylor for his very first delivery for Taylor, as the Lions lose their first wicket. Sharma yesterday not out on 40 against the Lion. He had 40 off of 39 deliveries, 2 4s and a 6. The man in form. Sharma coming into today's match 4th or 5th on the runs table in the Southern Division. 4 matches, 123 runs, facing Taylor. With that 40 not out, his first not out innings of the 2025 season, he also had a 47. Opens the face, and in this power play part of the game, so important to try and get the ball over the infield to get boundaries. And so far the Fire are starting to spin a web with Taylor from the northern end. And there's that bounce, and the ball just holds up. Batters will do well to delay their shot rather than play through the line, almost like playing in England, where the ball moves so dramatically off the wickets and in the air. And there's that pop. And the end of another successful over for the Fire. A wicket maiden for Stephen Taylor, as his score remains at 10 for the loss of 1. Rampasad back into the pavilion for 8.
Atlanta Fire. Star-studded Atlanta Fire, one of the favorites.
Man, indeed, but that one is smack.
Oh, this one is clubbed into the onside. A slow, short ball.
Will continue from the southern end. Had 3 wickets yesterday from this very end against the Galaxy. This one hits the pad, but definitely some bat onto it. Shanuk Marath didn't get a chance to play yesterday, the U21 player. Gets his opportunity today. Just waiting on it. And the viewers at home, understanding the power play is in play, will be wondering why the Fort Lauderdale Lions are not playing through the line of the ball and trying to score quickly. Well, this fantastic wicket in Groveland has given support to the spinners, and it really is a flashback to the grassroots part of the game where you have to earn your runs, and it is so refreshing in T20 cricket to see this scenario play out. Short delivery, nothing much Marath can do with it. It hurried onto him from Patel. The variations of pace from Patel is so important. Yes, he's a wrist spinner, but thrives in the variation of pace. And don't adjust your screens at home. That is the 5th dot ball after a wicket maiden by Stephen Taylor. We may have 2 maidens in succession. So they hurry through for a quick single just to break the duck of the last 11 deliveries. So 1 run in that over. That is 1 run in the last 2 overs. 11 for the loss of 1 wicket. Stephen Taylor will continue from the northern end. So Stephen Taylor has actually taken himself off of the attack, and in the last minute has brought on his ace bowler, Asim Charania. Now get a hold of this. 4 overs, 3 wickets for 5 runs yesterday against the Galaxy. Was definitely the player of the match for the Fire. And his first delivery completely beats the bat as Marath is trying to find the ball. We have Suresh, one of the ground managers, with us in the commentary booth. We're going to ask him some questions about this wicket as Chirano gets ready to bowl to Marath. Now, Suresh, the wicket is a turner, something that is you guys planned on, or this sort of just took shape as the months came and passed?
No, I think it took shape. Originally, when the wicket was installed by curator Ravi Teki, we had brown clay on it, but then...
And Charania gets the first breakthrough, finds the outside edge, and Stephen Taylor, who made the decision to bring on his left-arm spinner, takes the catch at first slip. The second wicket falls, only 11 runs on the board. And Fort Lauderdale Lions, who are 0-4 in this 2025 season, are looking down the barrel of a gun. Charania, who had 3 wickets for 5 runs yesterday, gets his first in only 3 deliveries. And Atlanta Fire are burning red hot in Groveland. Suresh, back to you with this pitch.
Took shape. Yep. So when the original pitch was laid down 18 months ago with Ravi Teki as a curator, we had brown clay.
Charania gets the first
well
break
for us over the past 18 months because of the hurricanes and rain and the holding up. So we decided to turn it over, and the last 3 months we dug it up and we brought black clay in. So that's what you see now. And as you can imagine, black clay holds up well in the cracks and definitely helps the spinners more. But it does have pace in it, as you have seen Lauderdale in the first over. It does hit, if you hit the deck, it's going to give you enough pace on it as well.
Captains, be warned. Suresh, the ground manager, is emphasizing that there is pace in this wicket. And yes, we did see Drysdale both yesterday and today in his 2 overs extract that pace. But the turn and the grip is there for the spinners. So batters, understand when you come to Groveland, Florida, you are going to have to adjust. New batter, Mohib Siddiqui, coming to the crease after Shanuk Marath was dismissed by Charania, who continues to spin a web from that northern end in Groveland. Certainly one of the best figures in minor league cricket in 2025. 3 for 5 yesterday in his 4 overs against Orlando Galaxy. Fire on top, 11 for 2. And this the 5th over. Left-handed Siddiqui. There's cover for Charania on the onside as expected. A deep backward square and a deep mid-wicket. There's that bounce, just wrapping on the thigh pad. Siddiqui yesterday partnered Anuk Sharma. Sharma was 4 not out. Siddiqui came in as well. Oh, he's neck crop. Shania gets it. Another score for the Lions. So Sunny Patel, with 3 balls left in this over, now has figures of 1 for 3 in 2.3 overs. Coming into today's match, the leader in the Southern Division with wickets has 10 coming in 5 matches. Already has 1 today and is bogging things down from his end. So a change in the batting lineup is Katakond coming in. Neil Katakond getting his opportunity to make an impact today. Katakond actually was out for naught in 2 deliveries. He was bowled by a Ponzo. Well, he still has to deal with a very, very in the mood Sunny Patel, who now has 11 wickets under his belt so far in this very young 2025 season. Don't adjust your screen. That's a short leg for Katond, and this one is outside off stump. It is Palmer who's put on the helmet, and this is the sort of confidence Sunny Patel has now in his bowling. Wide signalled as Sunny Patel has a laugh, and he can afford a smile. It is 12 for 4, and a short leg is in T20 cricket. Short delivery, just punched away by Katakand. And a round of applause as 2 runs have been scored. Score now goes to 15 for 4. Question is for the Lions, can they bat through the 20 overs? This now the second to last delivery of the power play, with only 15 runs and 4 batters back in the pavilion. So the big left-hander Katond, there's a long on and a deep mid-wicket to protect Sunny Patel. But yes, there is a short leg. Oh, and beats the outside edge, and Hamilton cannot hold on. Batters in trouble, bowlers on top. That is his story in Groveland after just 20 minutes of play. For the 5th consecutive time, the Fire have won the toss. No doubt it's been tails. And this time putting the Lions into bat. Faster, quicker delivery. And that will be the end of the power play. 15 runs on the board for the loss of 4 wickets. Atlanta Fire on top in Groveland. So Ranuk Sharma, the batter in form for the Lions, will get a chance. He's 5th on the scoring list in the Southern Division coming into today's match with 123 runs, and Charania is getting that bounce that for a finger spinner is an absolute dream. So with the power play completed, Charania has cover on a deep backward square, deep mid-wicket, long on. Onside is well protected. Singles can be easily taken. On the offside, there's a deep cover with Palmer out there, and a long off with Drysdale. Shortish delivery, and this time it kind of scoots on. Again a dot ball, and because of the situation. Sharma, the pressure has been building so much. Even a half volley on middle stump, he just prods back to Charania. And there's that bounce again. And it falls short to Taylor, who stops the boundary. The keeper is happy, Charania is happy. Stephen Taylor applying the pressure, pulling in the backward point and applying a silly extra cover. A short extra cover. Inviting Sharma to drive. Charania beats the outside edge, and that completes yet another maiden from the left-arm orthodox bowler. He's now 2 overs, none for 2, and is 15 for 4 after 7.
The annual Atlanta Open T20 tournament returns October 7th to 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. Presented by Atlanta Fire Cricket and Tarik Real Estate, 12 teams packed with the best domestic and international T20 talent will be on show. Catch live action on the MLC Network, Willow Cricket, and T Sports.
Anj Patel, one of the leading wicket takers in minor league cricket, is set to come from the southern end. Bowling over the wicket to the left-hander. Anj Patel has protection with a long on. Long off with Palmer. Deep backward point, or deep point rather. On the onside, a deep mid-wicket, deep backward square. Yesterday, Patel's figures, 4 overs, 1 for 17. This one cuts. And it beats the backward point fielder. Get a single. That allows Sharma to get off the strike. Katakand, who's 3 runs off of 5 deliveries, gets back on strike. Sharma still yet to get off the mark after facing 12 deliveries. But you can understand with the conditions, it's exactly what's needed by the middle-order batter. Short delivery, whipped off the hips. Because of doesn't allow Sharma to get into shape to pull that ball with any sort of power. You can see the ball holding up. Batter can over tennis. Katakand drives. And in 12 overs.
Fire. Star-studded Atlanta Fire, one of the favorites.
Man, deep, and that one is smack.
Oh, this one is globbed into the onside. A slow, short ball.
Score with the bat and keep the score. It's called Jamaican. This one is pulled away. Back in Groveland, Florida. 27 for 4 after 10. The halfway point is completed, and Atlanta Fire, after winning their 5th consecutive toss, have put the Lions into bat. There were showers late last night in Groveland. They got the pitch just a little damp. Everything dried out perfectly before the match, but a wise decision by Stephen Taylor. Again, the tools are there for the spin bowlers, but now we have Drysdale, the tall fast bowler, back in from the northern end. So Sharma has gotten the chest pad to face Drysdale. Drysdale getting some support from the wicket as well. Sharma reluctant. Free, back and across, and that is the technique needed on this wicket. Get in line with the ball. Sharma did exactly that and made a horrific shot into something very easy. Just opening the face of the bat, and Drysdale is now completed 1.5 overs, none for 9. Sharma, the man in form, 40 not out yesterday against the Lightning, still in the wicket. He's playing the anchor of the innings, understanding what the Lions need. He can ill afford to depart. So he's taking his time and trying to bat through the innings to give the Lions a chance to defend. This one is pitched up again. Sharma just running it down the third man. And that'll be the end of his second over, none for 10. It is 30 for 4 after 11. So the left-arm orthodox Charania, who is 2 overs, none for 2, had 3 wickets for 5 runs yesterday in his 4-over spell. One of the best spells of the minor league cricket season is back on, but this time from the southern end, coming up the hill. This one is dug out. Trying to make it 5 in a row. They're starting to set the pace in the Southern Division. Atlanta Lightning, just 1 win behind Atlanta Fire. So too Baltimore. Here's the left-arm orthodox Charania to the right-handed Sharma. Just opening the face of the bat. Beautifully done. And an excellent stop from backward point. So the wicket was providing so much assistance for Sunny Patel, who came from this end. He had a short leg to the left-handed Katongt. This time the left-arm orthodox Charania not bothering. There's that function. It's a wide signal by umpire Batiste. And wraps him on the thigh pad. And at the end, another successful over the fire. 2 runs of it. It is now 30 after 12. Fire up in Groveland. Got the chest pad, put that on, and now is facing the music of Drysdale. The tall fast bowler from New York, steaming in. Oh, and this one hits almost in the groin area. Didn't get up like it should have. And Katakand now has a scar to talk about. Wanoy Drysdale, 4 matches for the Atlanta Fire this season. Just 1 wicket for 58 runs. Only bowled 1 over yesterday against the Galaxy, as the wicket was taking so much turn and spin. This one is pitched up and played through the line. So Katakand, after being hit in the thigh pad region, the ball before, trying to get a move on to try and get on top of the big fast bowler. Drysdale, short delivery, and that's going to be a wide. But understand, this is what the wicket can offer the bowlers. If you bang it in short, you can get the pace and the bounce required by a fast bowler. And for the spinners, you can get that grip and turn.
Short delivery, and that's going to be a wide. But understand, this is what the wicket can offer the bowlers.
For the cricket purists at home, it certainly reminds us of a test match sort of wicket where batters have to come in and apply every ounce of technique they've learnt from junior cricket to professional cricket. It's flashed away to mid-off. It was loud, it was quick, and it came off the bat like a rocket, but no run. No doubt the mentality between Sharma and Katakand is to bat through these overs and try to give the Lions the best possible opportunity to defend whatever they come up with after 20 overs. It is not easy going out there. The Fire know that. They're seeing that in the field. Slower delivery. Drysdale has 2 more deliveries, 33 for 4. We're in the midst of the 13th. Drysdale again. So it's a short delivery and try to help it around to find leg. And looks like it's gone to the boundary. All eyes on the umpire. And it's leg buys. All 4 of them. And that takes us through over number 13. It is 38 for 4. Played through the line of the ball, thick outside edge. They come through for a single. Katakand gets on the other end. Stephen Taylor, who now has figures of 2 overs, 1 for 2. Almost gets his second wicket. So Sharma creeping on to 12 off of 29. The last of the recognised batters. After this is all-rounders and bowlers. Taylor. This one is driven. Long on is going to come across. .40 for 4. Stephen Taylor only made 10 runs yesterday against the Galaxy after previous scores of 50 retired. This one wraps him on the pad, but it was bat then pad. A story of survival for the Fort Lauderdale Lions, put into bat from the Fire and from the get-go. It's been hard going, trying to graft runs with singles and twos. After the power play, it was a score of 12 or 13 for 4. This one is tossed up by Taylor. And Stephen Taylor and the spinners, so used to just bowling flat finger spin, are now starting to use the wickets, give it some air in hunt for more wickets, as you can see there. But because of the turn and the grip in this wicket, if you're off, you're off. That is the end of Taylor's third over. It is 42 for 4 after 14 in Groveland. Former IPL player from Gujarat, Sunny Patel, will come back into the attack. He is 3 overs, 1 for 6, leading the way in minor league cricket in the Southern Division with 11 wickets, trying to add to that tally. He's a tricky customer, Sunny Patel. Bowls wrist spin, but don't be fooled. Doesn't apply much air. He hurries the ball onto the batter. I wouldn't put the phrase mystery bowler to his name, but because it's flat leg breaks, it can become very tricky for the batters. Oh, and Taylor's dropped it. Never easy in the slip cordon. It comes to you in a flash. He got his left hand to it. And the captain encourages his bowler with a clap over the head. This one is given some air. Sharma pulls, but because the ball holds up on the wicket, it got the shoulder of the bat. Katran has the option to pick up singles anytime he wants on that leg side, because most of the fielders are on the boundary for protection for Patel. Boundaries are like an oasis in a desert in this innings for Fort Lauderdale Lions. Rampasad, who is leading the Southern Division with runs coming into this match, got a few at the beginning, and now they've all dried up. So just 3 runs from Patel's over, 45 for 4 after 15. So Ansh Patel, the left-hand Chinaman bowler from the southern end. And it's gone after him. It's high in the air, and that is gone for a maximum. Katakand getting a move on, greeting Ansh Patel, who just pitched it up a fraction. Understanding these bowlers are giving the ball some air because making use of the wicket. Well, they gave it too much air, and Katakand obliged and gave it some more air. Patel, this one is pulled, dropped short. So often in cricket, a spinner pitches one up, gets hit back overhead. You can almost rock back on your back foot even before the ball comes out of his hand, as he's going to drop it in short and flat. So said, so done by Patel. No bowler likes to be touched up. So Sharma has taken off the helmet. He is 14 off of 34 deliveries, certainly anchoring the innings. Protection on the offside with a deep cover. This one beats everyone. It's going to be a wide, and not just one. Batters crossed, wide signal. That's 2 extras. There certainly is some cloud cover for the fielders to rely on occasionally compared to yesterday's conditions. So when it's aired out and Katand gets to the pitch of it. So Ansh Patel bouncing back with some dot deliveries after that wide. Sharma looking to go after the diminutive left-arm Chinaman. This one is put down, but I believe that was hit into the ground. 55 for 4. The Lions trying to crawl to safety. If they can get this score into the 80s or 90s, we'll have something to go after with this. Pulled away. Drop short of long on. He had a long way to cover to his right to stop that boundary. Just a long single for Sharma. It's 56 for 4. 16 overs in the books. The left-arm orthodox Azim Charania, 4 overs, 3 for 5 yesterday. 3 overs, 2 for 2 today. Back into the attack. Short and punched. Katakund opening those shoulders. Got a 6 in the last over. He goes to 19 to 16, sorry, 19 rather, off of 33. Sharma 16 off of 38. This one was dug out by Sharma. He gets another single. The projected score after 20 overs. We've all done the math here. Don't accuse us of anything, but we're projecting close to 80 runs in the 20 overs for the Lions, unless these two can really change the fortune of the Fort Lauderdale faithful. Four runs so far in this over from Charania. It's proving to be expensive for the left-arm orthodox, who only gave up 5 runs yesterday and 2 runs at the beginning of this over. High in the air, and it's going to go over Longon's head, and it's the first boundary dished out to Charania in 2 days. A towering 6 by Sharma. And in old school cricket, the law still stands the same. You get settled in, he gets under it, middles it, helps it over the long on boundary for 6. That is one of the pluses of sitting in, getting settled, and starting to pick your spots. Exactly what Sharma has done. Ball has finally gotten back into the arms of Charania. Score scoots on to 66 for 4. And that may push that expected score to maybe 85 compared to the 80 that we expected. Sharma moves to 23. Charania. How does he respond? Flat delivery. So Azim Charania, his spell has now come to an end. 4 overs, 2 for 13, and it's 67 for 4 with 3 overs remaining in this Fort Lauderdale Lion innings. Anj Patel will come in to bowl his last over of his spell. He's 3 overs, none for 21. Didn't get any wickets yesterday as well. Had 10 wickets coming into today. So far hasn't added to his tally. And he's gone after it. Splits long on and long off. Anj Patel is greeted back into his last over with a towering 6 by Sharma. Stand corrected. Anj Patel did get a wicket yesterday. Got the wicket of Pranav Batad for 12. Caught by Drysdale. Trying to get his second of the weekend. Wraps him on the pad. Sharma wants more of Patel. Just shrugs off Nihal Katakund. Goes after him again. Over long on. It's another towering 6 for Sharma. He has measured Anj Patel. And in 3 deliveries, 2 towering 6s. One directly back overhead and the other one over long on. $79 for 4. That projected score has now scooted on. It's going to be into the 90s. If this continues, Sharma has 36 now. Remember, 40 not out yesterday against the Atlanta Lightning on this very pitch. It's been hard going for him. Flat delivery, cut away, superbly stopped at backward point. Sunil will have 2 deliveries from Anj Patel, who has been roughed up by Sharma for 2 6s so far in this over. The left-hander goes after it. Sharma wants to get back on strike. They come through for maybe a leg bye. We'll just see. And that's just a regular bye. Can Sharma score big off this last delivery in Patel's spell? He's 34 off his 3.5. No wickets so far. Sharma has that long on, deep mid wicket to deal with on the onside and a long off and a deep cover on the offside. Going after it. Long off is coming in. And Sagar Patel takes the catch. Anj Patel has the last laugh. The last ball of his spell, he gets a wicket. His second for the weekend. He's finished with 34 for 1 off of 4. And the dangerous Sharma, who's anchored the innings, has gone for 37 off of 45. It is now 81 for 5. But what an innings by Sharma. The fielders understand how hard it's been for him. And they congratulate him with a well-earned 37, which in any other ground and any other wicket would have been in the 60s. Rashish Bera coming in, the domestic player for Fort Lauderdale Lions. Sharma had 3 6s in his innings, taking Ash Patel for 2 of those rather. Bera did not get a chance yesterday to bat for the Lions. They were 112 for 6 off their 20. They're now 81 for 5. Stephen Taylor to continue, and this one hurries through just over the off stump of Neil. This is Taylor's last over of his spell. He's 1 for 6 off of 3.1. And the captain trying to make some quick changes to the left-hander. There's a deep cover and a long off. On the onside, there's a long on who's now become just a little bit wider to the right of Neil. A deep mid wicket and a deep backward square. Trying these scoop shots. Anything goes at this point. Neil has 20 off of 37. Just saw his batting partner Sharma depart for 37 off of 45. Off the toe of the bat. Rashish Behera facing his first delivery. Wraps him on the pad, was going down the leg. They come through for a leg by. More importantly, gets Neal back on strike. After those towering sixes by Sharma, we thought before that over that the projected score would be around 80, 85. But the runs in the last over against Patel has now given them a shot to get into the 90s. Yes, slog sweep. Caught at the boundary and could not hold it. It's gone over the ropes for 6. A great attempt out of the deep. Got his hands to it. Tried to flick it back up in the air, but couldn't take the second grab. 6 more for Nihal. 6 more to the total. Did a great job to get both hands to it, but just couldn't get back, couldn't find his footing to get the second grab. That 6 helps his score onto 89 now. Last delivery for Stephen Taylor. And completely beats Nihal. And that'll be the end of the 19th over. 1 over remaining for the Fort Lauderdale Lions. It is 89 for 5. Tough goings out here in Groveland, Florida, as Atlanta Fire try to keep this score below 100 so they can give chase on a very tough wicket to bat on. The 20th over, and it's Drysdale, the tall New Yorker lanky pace bowler coming in from the southern end, up the hill, we would say, to the right-handed Behera. Short delivery. He's gone after it. Would it clear long on? It does. It's a 6. Gets this score to 95. Exactly what the doctor ordered for the Lions. Atlanta Fire winning the toss for the 5th consecutive time. It has worked in their favor. A nightmare for the Lions to deal with in the opening overs. Patched up, repaired by Nihal, Katakund and Sharma. And now their last over. It is Drysdale, the big fast bowler. This one is French cut over the stumps. Because the ball is holding up, the batters are using a cross-bat sort of shot. Very unorthodox, but there's nothing orthodox about this scenario. With this pitch holding up in a T20 affair, if it was a test match affair, you would see a more contained or traditional batting style. Behera gets it's a leading edge, high in the air. Is Taylor going to get there? He does not. Batters come back for 2. It's skied in the air over the non-striker's end. Taylor coming in from cover had a lot of ground to cover. And with the ball swirling in the air, never really looked like he was going to get there. So 2 more runs to the total. 97 runs now. Can they get to triple digits? That will be a feat for this Lions team, who were once 11 for 4. Short delivery over the shoulder, looking at the umpire. But that is a very, very good bouncer in Groveland, in Perth, in Lords, and in Kensington Oval. Or shall I say Queen's Park Oval? Brian Lara Stadium in southern Trinidad and Tobago. Drysdale trying to get his first wicket of the weekend. Top edge, high in the air, and it's going to land safely just before long on. Batters scamper back for 2, and it's a run out. Behera never really looked like he was going to get back for the second. His teammates were demanding that they could have gotten 2, but he was laboring on his way back, and he is run out. Behera departs, run out for 10. The score goes to 98. Batters came across for just 1. This is the last delivery of the innings for the Lions. Remember, they batted 11 for 4, 13 for 4 after the power play, and they were within 2 runs of getting to triple digits. So Tagaris has now come into the pitch, and he has the very tall order of facing a steaming in Drysdale for the last ball of the Fort Lauderdale Lions innings. And this one is on the outside edge of the bat, and the batters will come back for 2, and that's the 100 up for the Lions. The Fort Lauderdale Lions have fought their way back, and there's an appeal, and the short leg umpire, actually the square leg umpire, has signaled out. So on the second run, Tagaris has been run out for 1, and 99 is the final score in Groveland, Florida. A comeback for the ages, though, for the Lions, who were once 13 for 4 after being put in on very tricky conditions. Yes, the Atlanta Fire won the toss yet again. They were 13 for 4 after the power play. Came up to 99, just 1 short of 100. And now the Fire will have to go find those runs. It's a turning wicket. The ball holds up. It is very hard for batters to play through the line of the ball and score quickly. Hence the reason the Lions suffered so dearly in the power play, losing 4 quick wickets. Now they have to defend 99 runs. The Atlanta Fire, in search of going 5-0 in the Southern Division, they want their perfect record, while the Fort Lauderdale Lions are seeking their very first victory in 2025. The 100 is the total. We'll be back for the second innings. Stay tuned. We're back in Groveland, Florida, where the Atlanta Fire, who won the toss, put the Lions into bat. After 20 overs, the Lions conjured up 99 for 7. So 100 runs, even to win for the Fire. And the two openers coming out. Sunny Patel is not opening batting. We will have the confirmation. So Rishi Pandey will take first strike and Sagar Patel on the non-strikers end. So Sagar Patel, US international, will be on the non-strikers end, and we have the left-arm orthodox so the first delivery came from Mohib Siddiqui, who gets a dot ball, understanding the Lions only have 100 runs to defend. This scenario was similar on September 1st, where the Lions and the Fire played each other. Fire won the toss, put the Lions into bat. Lions made 120 for 6, and the Fire knocked it off with 122 for 1 after just 14 overs. Siddiqui a third dot ball, and the fielders, who of course all had to face the music on this turning slower pitch, understand how hard it's going to be for Patel. And Rishi Pandey. Siddiqui with 4 dot balls, trying to put the pressure just short of a length, and the diminutive Pandey just letting it go. One more delivery remaining. Sagar Patel, the experienced US international, just coming down the wicket to have a quick talk with Pandey. Words of encouragement in this power play. Just a deep mid wicket and a long off to support Siddiqui. Drives through the line of the ball and just a loud single. Actually, it's another dot ball. It's going to be a maiden to finish that first over for the Lions. So only 99 to defend, but they're off on the right foot. A maiden to start the innings. It is 0 for 0 after 1.
The annual Atlanta Open T20 tournament returns October 7th to 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. Presented by Atlanta Fire Cricket and Tarek Real Estate, 12 teams packed with the best domestic and international T20 talent will be on show. Catch live action on the MLC Network, Willow Cricket, and T Sports.
Shanak Marth will start from the southern end, and he'll bowl to Sagar Patel. Coming into today's match, Patel, 4 matches, 4 innings, 2 not outs. Has compiled 131 runs, points 184. He's 4th on the batting list in the Southern Division. Has a high score of 67, just 150. But 5 sixes and 13 fours. Usually opens batting with Stephen Taylor, the power hitter from Jamaica. And Patel usually the rotation. And there's that pop, there's that bounce for the spinners right in front of the batter, which makes runs scoring so hard, power play or not. It's an appeal for a stumping. And he's out. A wicket falls for no runs on the board, and it's the danger man, Sagar Patel. Has to depart for a duck. Atlanta Fire. Sagar Patel departs for a duck. So confirmation is actually he's been bowled. So what a start for the Lions. After a maiden for the first over, Sagar Patel goes back for a duck. Stephen Taylor coming in at 1 down. And he's going to have to face, let's just say, a little more than music. A turning wicket, a slower wicket, and a Lions team that has belief. The hard-hitting Jamaican has come in to today's match, 3rd on the batting charts in the Southern Division. 4 matches, 4 innings, 1 not out, a retired. He was 50 not out against Orlando Galaxy 3 matches ago. He has amassed 132 runs, 214 points, 250s in his 4 innings, 10 mammoth sixes and 12 fours with a strike rate of 206. Could only come up with 10 runs yesterday against the Galaxy in similar conditions. First delivery from the left-hand orthodox Marth. When the Fire chased down the Lions runs just about 5 days ago. Lions, of course, set 120. It was Stephen Taylor who, out for 1, caught Siddique Bol Gawand. And a sweep, and he's caught. It went to first slip. There's an appeal for caught behind. Umpire Batiste thinking about it. Stephen Taylor giving the signal that it came off of his forearm. Umpire Batiste believes the big Jamaican, and the argument goes to the Fire. That would have been an absolute disaster if Stephen Taylor would have been dismissed for a duck after Sagar Patel was comprehensively bowled by Marth in the first delivery, a second delivery rather, of his spell. Two deliveries remaining in the second over. Another dot ball. Can they get 2 maidens in succession to begin this inning? The dreaded heat in Groveland is now a lovely breeze and overcast skies. A joy for the fielders and batters alike. This one tossed up and he's gone after him. High in the air, long on doesn't have a chance. It's clear defense. And Stephen Taylor gets underway with a 6. Atlanta Fire off the mark. Stephen Taylor's off the mark. 6 for 1 after 2.
Atlanta Fire. Star-studded Atlanta Fire, one of the favorites.
Man, indeed, but that one is smack.
Oh, this one is lobbed into the onside. A slow, short ball.
So Siddique, who bowled a maiden for the very first over, will continue his left-arm orthodox to Rishi Pandey. Short and just punched away to cover. This one's chopped over the stumps. And the tension begins to build again in Groveland. The first match of a doubleheader coming up after this will be Atlanta Lightning taking on the home team Orlando Galaxy. Projected 2:30 p.m. start. This one had a slight delay, a 20-minute delay. Pandey plays through the line of the ball, through covers legs. And it's just going to be a long single rather, as Stephen Taylor, one strike on the left-arm orthodox Siddiqui. So Mahib Siddiqui coming into today's match, 4 matches rather, 13 overs, 3 for 92. He is 15th on the charts in the Southern Division, going up against one of the legends of the game in minor league cricket, Stephen Taylor. Last year, Stephen Taylor scored 104 against the Galaxy in only 50-plus deliveries. Big man who swings a big stick. That's bat, that's pad. Umpire Maitland not interested. Gone after him. It's high in the air. And that's gone over the side screen. Another towering hit from the big man. Score moves on to 13. Stephen Taylor, 2 sixes. He has 12. And Siddiqui, who was so tidy in his first over, is now starting to be touched up. So you can't set fielders behind the side screen. So Siddiqui is going to have to tidy things up. This one's shorter and he does exactly that. So that's the end of over number 3. 13 for the loss of 1. Atlanta Fire trying to battle back after losing Sagar Patel for naught. Shanak Marathe will begin his spell from the southern end. Bowling to Rishi Pandey, who's 1 from 9, trying to find his form. Sweep slog, high in the air, mid-wicket coming across. And it clears the ropes for another 6. The third 6 in the innings. After a maiden by Siddiqui for the first over, the last 2 overs, we've seen 3 sixes. And the Atlanta Fire starting to shake things up in the power play. This one pulled, and it's over that square leg for another 6. Rishi Pandey, the talented youngster who was kept at bay for 1 run off of 9 deliveries. That is 2 sixes in succession. He's starting to find his rhythm. And he's gone again. Oh, and a diving catch, a deep backward square. It was put down, but he did a fantastic job just to get around. Saved another boundary. But Chanouk Marte having a hard time matching up with Rishi Pandey. Score now 26-1. And now we have the left-handed Taylor. So the protection for Marte is a deep mid-wicket and a long on. Stephen Taylor, 2 towering sixes for 12. His last was over the side screen. And the fielder who put down the catch just moments ago is labouring. It is Rashish Behera, who did a great job to stop the boundary. But now his fellow fielders have come across to see if he's okay. So Marate will continue to work against Stephen Taylor, who is becoming or getting in the mood. He was kept quiet for 10 runs yesterday against the Galaxy. Just 1 run against this Lions team 5 days ago. Starting to have other things on his mind. Short, and it scoots. Another single to the score, 27. Remember, an even 100 is the total that the Fire have to chase. So Pandey roughed up Marate with 2 sixes early on in this over. Now there's a deep backward square. And we have a substitution. So Wesley Jackson has just checked in for Behera, who was injured on that dive at the mid-wicket boundary moments ago. Pandey tries to cut. And just whipped off his hip over that short mid-wicket. A single for Pandey. So what was a bog-down type of innings is now beginning to open up for the opener. And that is the end of over number 4. 2 more overs left in the power play. 28-1. Pandey 15 off of 14. Siddiqui will try to keep up the pressure from that northern end. He is 2 overs, none for 7, and is pulled away by Pandey. His boundaries are beginning to flow. Starting to hit stride, the diminutive Pandey. Just whips this one away off of his hips. Score goes to 32-1. Siddiqui. Short and just punched off the back foot. And it's amazing to see batters when their confidence grow as compared to when they're searching for their form or searching for the ball. Now Pandey's starting to open up his shoulders a bit, not compromising his shape. And now Stephen Taylor, deep mid-wicket, and a long on. Siddiqui dare not go down that onside, that leg side, keeping it well out of the onto the offside. No protection on the offside. The sweep, and looks like Taylor may have gotten some of it. It beats, there's no fine leg. It's going to be another boundary. Hands on hips for Siddiqui, and those are going to be wides. Give you an understanding of the type of turn that spinners can extract from this wicket. Taylor went down, played the shot, and was nowhere near it. Oh, in that corridor of uncertainty. On or just outside off stump. And Stephen Taylor can't find it. Going after him. It's going to beat mid-off. Bouncing and over the ropes for 4. Another boundary for Stephen Taylor. It takes the pressure off of him and the Atlanta Fire. That is the end of the 5th over. It is now 42 for 1 after 5.
The annual Atlanta Open T20 tournament returns October 7th to 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. Presented by Atlanta Fire Cricket and Tarek Real Estate, 12 teams packed with the best domestic and international T20 talent will be on show. Catch live action on the MLC Network, Willow Cricket, and T Sports.
So Nehal, who provided some support with Sharma with the bat in the first innings, comes back into his spell on the southern end against Pandey. Just turns it around. Taylor wants the single and gets it. Clouds starting to come in from the western part of the ground. No rain projected until 3 p.m. So this match will be spared. The 2:30 p.m. match against Atlanta Lightning and the home team Orlando Galaxy may not. Here's Nihal to Stephen Taylor. Last over of the power play, and Stephen Taylor just dismisses that over backward square for another 6. The 3rd of his innings. And this score is starting to zoom on as they try to put a dent into this total of 100 that they have to achieve in the power play. Taylor hasn't been at his best against the Lions. Just 1 run. And then against the Galaxy yesterday, just 10. Score goes to 49 for 1. Taylor 23 with 3 sixes and a 4. Understand we are in Central Florida, so anything hit out of the ground, that's a chance for the alligators and the wildlife to get a hold of. But the golf cart is in play, so the ball has been retrieved. Nehal to Taylor. Shorts pulled away. The ball held up. It's going to beat regular mid-off. Long on comes across. Wesley gets it back in. Pandey starting to get going, but a dot ball by Nehal is something that the Fort Lauderdale Lions are in desperate need of. Gone after him, Pandey. And he's gotten all of it. Another 6, the third of his innings to match Stephen Taylor. So the 50 is up for the Atlanta Fire. It is now 56 for 1. Pandey goes to 27 off of just 20 deliveries now after being bogged dog with 1 run off of 9. And Taylor scampers through for another single, keeping the pressure up on the fielders and the bowler. And the single keeps Pandey on strike, and it's 57 for 1 after the power play.
Atlanta Fire. Star-studded Atlanta Fire, one of the favorites.
Man in deep, and that one is smack.
Oh, this one is clubbed into the onside. A slow, short ball.
So one of the Fort Lauderdale Lions, let's say legends, Elton Tucker, is coming into the attack, and Pandey drives over extra cover. Glorious shot. Whether it's a 5-day game, a 1-day game, or a T20 game, that is a cricket shot. He moves on to 32. It's now 61 for 1. Elton Tucker has been playing with the Lions since the team's inception. So one's tossed up, driven over extra cover. This time cover comes around. And Stephen Taylor will get a chance to face the left-arm orthodox bowler. To Taylor, the left-hander, full toss and smashed. That's somewhere in Orlando. Orlando, 20 miles east of this ground. And the ball has just found its way halfway there. 4th, 6 for Taylor. That score now goes on to 67 for 1. Check that, 68 for 1. We will have our scores updated momentarily. But Elton Tucker, coming into today's match, certainly, like we mentioned, a fixture in this Lions team. Both 5 overs, 1 for 32. So one shorter to Taylor, and that's the bounce that this pitch represents. Tucker again. Forward defensive, a rare forward defensive shot by Stephen Taylor. Picks up another single. Hey, what is all that? So 10 runs. 9 runs so far in the over, rather. 12 runs in the over. My math is suffering daily. Tucker comes back to Rishi Pandey. Shorts. Bounces over the stumps. And a wide called for Tucker. So one more to the total. Tucker again just tosses his one up and Pandey just strokes it to long off. $71 for 1. And 7 overs in the books. So Atlanta Fire well on their way to going after this total of 100 even set by the Lions. Stephen Taylor and Rishi Pandey starting to get stuck in. Atish Gawan from the Mumbai side of India will have a chance to bowl from the southern end on a rare medium pacer. This time provided by the Lions. Only Drysdale for the Fire. Gave us that sort of excitement. Here's Gawan. Just over the top of off. Has hit his straps from ball 1. Only had 1 over yesterday. None for 6. Getting a chance to make an impact today. 29 runs needed for victory. Can he get a wicket to put a dent in this Fire team? Just rolling his fingers over the ball, a slower delivery. And Rishi Pandey moves on to 36. Stephen Taylor, who's 31 off of 16. As the field changes with the right-hander, left-hander combination. We have Wesley, who's born and raised in Washington, D.C. Father English, mother American, at long on. We have a long off, a deep cover, deep mid-wicket, and a deep backward square, almost a fine leg. A fine leg for Ashish. Stephen Taylor winding up and just turning it around behind point. Rotating the strike, something he's not familiar in doing. Usually has Sagar Patel. Sagar Patel opened the batting today and he was out for naught. A rarity for the Fire. Gawan. Pandey. Loud cry of no from Taylor on the non-striker's end. And you have to understand, as Rishi Pandey can get those little legs churning to the other end. The big man Taylor, not so much in the same mindset as Pandey. Down the leg side, it's going to be a wide. One more to the total, 74 for 1, as Gawan tries it again. Striven on the up. And Wesley can't handle it. So another single. Strike turns over to Stephen Taylor, who will have one delivery left in this innings, in this over rather. Now if you look behind Stephen Taylor, off just to the right of him in your screen, there are some nets, cricket nets, in which the Orlando Galaxy are preparing. They will take on Atlanta Lightning at 2:30 p.m. This incredible facility in Groveland, Florida, now the home of Orlando Galaxy. The facility is primed and ready for massive events, cricket events, as Gawan comes in to Taylor. Checks his run up. Clouds setting up in the west, coming in from the Lakeland area. That is the usual pattern in this part of Florida. Comes from the Gulf, right across the central part of the state. And it may be here by 3 p.m. Gawan. Pitched up and driven straight through it. Over extra cover, 4 more. Playing through the line of the ball. We see how this wicket has sort of dried out and become a little more even in its bounce. Stephen Taylor taking full advantage. And it's a 4 off the last delivery of that over. 8 overs in the books. It is now 79 for 1. Stephen Taylor, 36 off of 18. So Wesley Jackson has come off the field as 12th man. Coming back onto the pitch is Rashish Behera, who hurt himself with a diving attempt at deep mid-wicket to take a catch. Didn't hold on to the catch, stopped the boundary. Mishra will come on from the northern end. First time he's getting a chance to get the ball in his hands. And Pandey checking his field, 36 off of 28. There's a deep backward square, deep mid-wicket, a long on, protection on the onside, long off, and a sweeper at cover on the off. Arnab Mishra against the Atlanta Lightning yesterday. 4 overs, 1 for 22. 11 dot balls. Has been pretty stingy in regards to giving away runs. Taylor just turns it around with a delicate sweep, a paddle almost. And 4 more runs to his name. He can do it with aggression. He can do it with finesse. Stephen Taylor, the complete package. "15 runs adrift of tying this score, 16 to win." Taylor goes on to 40. With 15 runs to go, 10 of those runs I'm sure he's going to want for himself. Gone after it, high in the air. And clears long off, and it's gone for 6. Stephen Taylor with yet another maximum as he moves up the charts in the batting statistics or the batting standings in the Southern Division. Came in at number 3 before he got the bat in his hand today. And he's brushing up past players like Rampasad and Sagar Patel. So the player climbs the fence, comes back onto the field. We're happy for his safety. But the score now flies to 90. 99 to tie, 100 to win. Mishra. This one is cut. Pandev wants it. Pandev gets it. One more delivery left in the over. 92 for 1. Pandey 37 off of 29. Stephen Taylor 250s already in his 4 innings in 2025. Is still in the hunt to get a third. This one's dropped short and Pandey just couldn't get a hold of it. Ball held up. Leg by is the call. 92 now. 7 to tie, 8 to win. Stephen Taylor on 47. Looking for a boundary. Punches, no run. So 92 for 1 after 9. Stephen Taylor stuck on 47. Pandey gets a chance at 37. 7 to tie, 8 to win. We'll be back in Groveland. Ranak Sharma, the star with the bat for the last 2 days for Lions, comes in with only 7 runs to tie, 8 to win. It's going to bowl some wrist spinners from the southern end. Thunder is starting to come into the fray from the western end of the ground. This one is tossed up. Pandey just drives through it, gets a single. And now with the wrist spinner, part-time spinner Sharma against Stephen Taylor, who's 47, who's eyeing that 50. We have Vineet at long on. There's a regular mid-off. Actually, there is a long off. 5 at the boundary. Punching, gets one more. Pandey on 38 from 31. And they squeeze out a single. That's going to get Taylor back on strike. This can all end with one swing of the stick. 5 to tie, 4 to win. 4 to tie, 5 to win. It's an appeal for a stumping. Umpire Maitland will just come back and fix the bails. There's an appeal for caught behind. And that ends Sharma's over. We're at the halfway point, 95 for 1. Atlanta Fire closing in on their 5th consecutive victory in this 2025 season. We'll be back with over number 11. So the fast bowler, turn leg spinner, is trying to upset Pandey, who just punches away, gets a single. And it could be a run out, but he was not behind the stumps. Understanding that he is a bowler and on his follow through, that will be his usual place of finishing up his action. Now Stephen Taylor, understand, is on 48. 1 run to tie, 2 to win. He just needs 2 for his 50. On the onside, backward square, deep mid wickets, long on. On the offside, a deep cover. Can he get it with one swing of the bat? Drop short, cut away, and it beats backward point and it goes to the boundary. Atlanta Fire go 5-0 in the minor league 2025 cricket season as they defeat the Fort Lauderdale Lions. Stephen Taylor gets his 3rd 50 of the tournament. He continues on. Pandey unbeaten on 40. The Fire will push on to play on Friday, the 19th, as they would take on Baltimore Royals. And also, we'll come up with that schedule for you really quickly. They'll take on the Morrisville Raptors on the 19th. And the day after that, the Baltimore Royals. On the 21st, they'll play the Royals again as they lead the Southern Division. Fort Lauderdale Lions still looking for that first victory of theirs as they continue to press on in this minor league 2025 season. They will take on the Baltimore Royals on Friday. Actually, check that. Friday, September 12th, the Baltimore Royals. The 13th, they will take on the Morrisville Raptors. And on the 14th, the Royals again. So Atlanta Fire, 100% record as they move on with their Southern leading charge of 5 out of 5. Coming up next, Orlando Galaxy will take on Atlanta Lightning. Galaxy looking for their first victory. Lightning just trying to keep pace. Match summary, Sharma, he was stubborn to the end. 37 to lead all scores for the Lions. Nihal supported him with 27. Bahira, 10. Bowling, Charania again. 2 for 13. Then Patel, Sunny Patel, 1 for 9. and Stephen Taylor 1 for 14. Batting for the Fire, Sagar Patel was out for naught. Stephen Taylor gets his third 50 of the season, 52 off of a mere 28 deliveries, supported of course by Rishi Pandey, who opened the batting, 42 off of 38. The bowling figures, not so well for the Fort Lauderdale Lions. Nihal had 1 for 21, and he was the sole wicket of Sagar Patel as they come up against on 14th, Friday the 14th rather, for the September 14th for their next match. As we look at the points table in the south, it is all Fire. 5 out of 5 to lead the charge. Atlanta Lightning coming up just one win behind them. They suffered a loss early on this season. Baltimore Royals at third place. Morrisville Raptors at fourth. Galaxy trying to find their first victory. So too the Lions. Coming up next, 2:30 p.m. Rain, of course, will decide that. Expected to have showers at 3 p.m. But the Atlanta Lightning taking on the host Orlando Galaxy, 2:30 p.m. right here from Groveland, Florida. My name is Ryan Davis. For all of us from the broadcast